Welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for the 4-1 Human Design Profile, the Opportunist Investigator. If you don't know what your Human Design Profile is, there's a link in the description for you to get your Human Design Body Graph, and your profile will be listed on there amongst a plethora of other information specific to your design. Now, no matter where you are in your awareness, I'm like looking at this plant leaf and it like split itself in half. Sorry, squirrel. Like, why do that to yourself? Are you okay? What? Oh yeah. So no matter where you are in your awareness, your knowledge, experiment with human design, these messages are meant to be an additional channel or avenue to receive a message, because not every 4-1 is a, Leo or a, Aquarius, so definitely be sure to check out your, zodiac sign readings. Those are all up and ready for your viewing pleasure. I do my best not to use a ton of human design language so that the message doesn't get lost or confused. Also, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow, which we love. And of course, you'll be notified of any new readings. And honestly, it is a way of showing love. So thank you. Also, I do have a vent that I need to get off my chest. Thankfully, I'm only going to vent about this in these readings. I literally, once I'm done with these readings, and I think after yours, I have two more to do. And I cannot wait to be able to not say it again. Now, the editing software that I use usually or what I was using past tense was CapCut. And they've made a drastic change to their terms of service or terms of use, whichever word that is. And I don't want to use it anymore. I think it's pretty crappy what they've done. And basically what they have done is any content that you upload to their software, to their program, they have the rights to. They can use in whatever way, shape, or form they want to, in whatever capacity they want to use it. And I think that is crappy. I feel like that's siphoning energy from people. It's not only siphoning energy, it's siphoning, time, creativity, and for no benefit to the person creating it. They're not paying you for it. They would never pay you for it. And the other thing, if you upload content and if you use an audio that is copyrighted, that you don't have the license or rights to, and let's say CapCut uses your video for whatever purpose they use it for, and they get flagged for copyright, they're not the ones on the hook for it. You are. So not only are they siphoning energy out of people, they're taking no risk or responsibility for it. And F that. I'm so sick of businesses, companies, corporations, literally anybody doing that. So also, I'm under no illusion that CapCut would ever use my tarot content, because that's the only thing I ever upload into CapCut. But it's the principle of it. And I found this out on Tuesday, actually, which was the day that Mars went into Virgo. Virgo is my third house, which is also where I have my moon. And that's, like I said, it's Virgo. I'm a Cancer rising, so my chart ruler is in Virgo, and I find this out on the day that Mars enters Virgo. And I didn't even like put two and two together until a couple days after I found out. But I'm not going to lie to you. I started spiraling. I was like, how am I going to be able to do these videos? I can't. Maybe this is, a sign that, YouTube just isn't working out and I should, let it go. Actually, that kind of makes me want to cry. This is the first time I'm saying that in all of the readings that I've done so far. That actually does want to make me want to cry. Anyway, all of the editing that I ever do with these videos is I usually make one intro video, because repeating myself 24 times, I can't do it. It almost feels like trauma. After a certain point, it's not that serious. It just feels that way. And also, like, my brain is like, we've already said this. And I'm like, yeah, but we haven't said it in this reading yet. So, it's just something to adapt to. It's fine. And obviously, like I said, I'm not even going to be telling this story in any intro, probably ever again. But yeah, so I would make one intro video. I would put that at the beginning of each video. And I would also edit out any like extended periods of time where there's just silence, where I'm sitting here staring at the cards from top to bottom, side to side, really just feeling into the energy. Before every reading, I set the intention for the message to come through me, not from me. So, I sit here and, kind of focus on keeping my crown open, receiving messages, and then that has to make its way from my consciousness out of my mouth, which also takes a couple minutes. So there are times that, I'm sitting here staring at the cards, and I edit those out. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 minutes of shuffling the cards before any cards come out. And I edit out most of that. Sometimes my dog goes nuts because somebody is walking by and he has to protect the manor. I cut that out. The rare times that I like walk away from the desk for whatever reason. So I do find that it's interesting that, all of this kind of happened around when Mars went into Virgo, because Virgo does have this like kind of perfectionist syndrome thing. And like I said, with my moon being there, I definitely do like try to package these readings, or at least to present them as being like more cohesive or like put together more than they actually are, right? Like I'm kind of cutting out any distraction, anything that I judge to be just imperfect. And I've been told multiple times, because Virgo is also my IC, so my midheaven is in Pisces. And I have been told a couple times by a couple different people to embrace the Pisces side of things, which is more flow, creativity, authenticity, and I'm like, how do you do that? Not to mention, the South Node is in Virgo too, which is, releasing what is no longer serving you. It's lessons that have already been learned, or, things that just, again, need to be like let go of. And the North Node, of course, then would be in Pisces, which is purpose and what you are here to experience and all of those things. So, like I said, it took me 2 days to, first of all, sit back down here for another reading. And the 2-5 reading was the first one that when I finally kind of had this realization that I was like, this actually probably is for the highest good of everything involved, everything, everybody, right? Like it is in a way, quote unquote, forcing me to show up more authentically. It is forcing me to let go of this idea of perfection. And I do want to show up more authentic, literally in every aspect of my life. And I do want to release judgment of the things, especially within myself, that I deem to be imperfect or just not packaged in a certain way. So I have to believe that, you know, the way that things have worked out, that, you know, honestly, it's only going to benefit the readings. It's only going to benefit you. It's only going to benefit me. It's only going to benefit the channel. So truly, whatever happens in these readings going forward, it's going straight from, you know, the SD card to YouTube. There was going to be no editing involved at all. Sure. Are there other editing softwares? Yes, absolutely. And I did try for the 2-4 and maybe the 1-3 and 1-4 readings. I did try to record an intro and, you know, just splice it in at the beginning of those readings. But the program that I was using before, it is so time consuming. It just takes the joy and the fun out of the readings. And I was like, I cannot do this. Are there other softwares? Yeah, you know, there's like a Reddit post about the CapCut thing. The video that I saw was on TikTok, and there was a couple suggestions in the comments. And I did download another program, but it's just way too professional for like the little bit of editing that I do. So I'm just like, you know what? We're just going to raw dog it. Sorry, YouTube. Hopefully, oh boy. Hopefully terms like that aren't. I meant in the sense that, you know, raw footage, you know, raw like video, not edited at all. So that's my vent. That's my if you're using CapCut, I wouldn't do it anymore either. Because true, also, like, we have to like take a stand against these businesses that are doing this. They, like, you know, if people keep using these programs knowing that their content once uploaded is no longer theirs, then like there's no reason for them to change. And we need change. We can't keep doing this. So we have the Page of Pentacles. For our 4 wands. It almost kind of feels like breaking away from something. The herd, the tribe, or not even necessarily breaking away from, because you have that 4th line, opportunist, which is all about community, networking, you know, acquaintances. Like, your best opportunities are going to be found within the people that you know. It is making connections with people, forming familiarity with people. Let me make sure everything is in frame here. Oh yeah, looks good. Also too, like, look at the colors. Granted, I mean, this is the 8 of Wands at the bottom, the High Priestess behind it. Ooh, the King of Swords. I haven't even seen this dude. Looks like a samurai. That would make sense. I was just talking about Shogun to my friend the other day too. Yeah, this is interesting. It almost looks like this person and this person can be the same person, just at different points in their lives. Different, points, and like going from here to here. Which is interesting. What, like, are these wolves or foxes or coyotes. And does it matter? And too, in this temperance card, like it looks like this person is more literally stripped down. They're not naked in this. They're just less clothed, which to me also feels like vulnerable, authentic. Interesting, right? And the colors. White is usually like purity or even cleansing. Like when I do energy cleansing, I will associate a color to the energy that I want to cleanse, right? And then I imagine it filling a balloon, and I let my hands get wider and wider and wider as the balloon gets bigger and bigger. And then, once I feel complete with that the balloon is, holding all of the energy that needs to be cleansed, I imagine it turning white. Like, when, are you old enough with those like Oxy commercials where they like put a scoopful of Oxy in like dirty water and it like turns it white or clear? So that's interesting too. Just the idea of purifying or cleansing energy. Your own or the energy of a situation. So pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time and our physical energy, which is usually, unless you're cap cut, which we usually use in exchange for monetary compensation, right? Our time, our energy. It's also like, where are you physically showing up in your life, your physical body and your health? Anything tangible, anything that you place worth and value on. Pages are the newbies. I always call the Page of Pentacles the apprentice. Because, it's starting a new job. It's starting a new, field or trade. Even like a field of study. Something to where like you're at the bottom of the totem pole, like, taking a course in something, finding a new interest. It literally feels like this person was out walking around picking wildflowers, because they have some wildflowers in their hand here, if you can see that. It's kind of hard to see anyway. And then they like came across this herd of whatever these are. I wonder if the book says. And like I said, I'm not even sure if it matters, but it matters to me for probably no reason. Let's see. Spiritual contentment, intuition, reflection, nature. An ethereal princess moves through a river of moonlit foxes. Okay, it's fox. While most of the coin suit deals with material wealth, the page is a symbol of spiritual bounty. The woman is content and the foxes are benevolent spirits who guide her. Interesting. Use your heart to make the decisions you are querying when you see the Page of Pentacles. This can mean taking time to reflect, preferably close to nature and away from distracting technology. Cultivate your intuition by keeping your body physically fit and your spaces uncluttered. I feel like what is interesting to me, I keep coming back to like staring at these foxes. She's like looking up, right? So these are just the things that are coming through to me. Of course, take your own message from them too. I hope that you do through all of these readings. I hope that if you are watching the screen and if you are looking at these cards and you receive a feeling or an intuitive message, I hope that you are honoring that as well. But of course, not trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. But yeah, like, so they're looking up this way, which to me almost, it feels like looking at the direction that you're heading in. And these almost feel like the distraction because they're not focused on these little foxes down here, right? But these foxes are like kind of crowding her because they're probably curious about this person. Like, what the hell is this? It doesn't look like us. It doesn't walk like us. It doesn't smell like us, right? They don't seem to be a threat. So what are they doing, right? Like, they seem to be curious about her, but she is focused on the direction that she's heading in. And I love like the spiritual aspect, and again, even being locked into your intuition. I always feel with a 4-1 reading, we always seem to talk about how, the 4-1 is the only fixed fate profile. They're the only ones that have the juxtaposition incarnation crosses, right? The 4-1s are literally designed, you guys, I'm like talking to you like you're not here. You guys are literally designed to honor and follow your own path. You are not designed to follow the crowd, to follow the pact. If other people choose to walk with you, great. But like where it starts getting murky and like uncomfortable, and you probably would start feeling it in your body, is when you start following, quote unquote, following the masses, right? Whether that is literally or metaphorically, whether, and what I mean by that is like, again, the literal sense of following the masses, or letting other people tell you what direction you should head in, what you should be doing, what you would be good at, just kind of like directing you, and you not being your own authority, and the reason why I even pivoted into that is because she is not letting herself be distracted by these foxes down here. She is keeping her eye on the direction that she's heading in. And maybe too, like maybe you find yourself getting back on that track. Because no doubt, I mean, we all fall off. But truly, like, you can get back on literally at any point. Especially too, if you've like already been having the thoughts and feelings, and especially it's more than likely an intuitive feeling that this isn't for you. This being the foxes. Keep your eye, in the direction that you're heading in. Trust that. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Trust the path, because no doubt, at least, that much of your path has been presented to you. It's not like you can't necessarily see it, because again, right? I mean, she is looking in the direction that she is walking in. So at least that much of your path is being shown to you. So trust that. Pivot, Speaking of pivoting, we have the Three of Wands here. Wands have to do with action, with the motivation behind the actions that you take, creativity, passion. How are you communicating those things? What actions are you taking towards those things? I also see wands as being information by way of experience, because that's what we usually get by trying things. We figure out what we like, we figure out what we don't like, what stays, what goes. And truly, the only way to figure that out is by doing. And the Three of Wands is when you start doing. Like the Ace of Wands is that spark, that, the inspiration, the desire to do something, finding a passion, something to like pour your energy into, a direction to head into. The Two of Wands is now planning for the future. It's, thinking of all the possibilities, like what do I want to do with this energy? What options are available to me? What do I want to experience, and how do I want to experience it? And the Three of Wands is when you start taking those steps. It's interesting. We have this frog here that's holding the Three Wands that have a ship attached to each one. And it's like, there's this whirlpool here, and this card, like, it keeps reminding me of Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, which is like, kind of the final battle with Davy Jones. And if you've seen it, I just watched it the other day. That movie is my favorite Pirates movie out of all of them. But after, what's her name? Oh, what is her name? I literally just watched this the other day. Calypso. There we go. Jiminy Crickets. After they release Calypso, right? Like, she dissolves into whatever, like a million, like crabs or whatever, and goes into the ocean and makes this whirlpool. And then both ships, right? Like the Black Pearl and then whatever Davy Jones's ship is, get stuck in this whirlpool, and then eventually, like get stuck together. So it's like a culmination of, or even like different energies all coming together. And like, you would be the frog. Like, you would be the one holding each of these rods, right? And controlling, or at least like having a hold on all of these ships here. Usually, like the Three of Wands too talks about like your ships coming in, which to me feels like, the right opportunity, or the information that you've been waiting for, that, finally being presented to you. It's like, finally, like the time is right to take action. Whether it is like, the right opportunity The energy is ripe for it. I'm curious what the book, how do you explain this card book? Let's see. Preparation, foresight, weighing options, expansion. A frog sits on a lily pad contemplating 3 ships that swirl in the current. The 3 of Wands tells you to keep an open mind and to consider all the choices that lay before you. There are opportunities ahead to expand your horizons. This could be learning a new skill. Boom. Beginning a new relationship, which could also be the Page of Pentacles, or traveling to a new landscape, which is exactly what this Page of Pentacles is currently doing. This is a calm before the storm. You can see the upcoming challenges associated with these new opportunities and are able to take this moment to prepare for them and to choose the best course, which even kind of leads us into this Temperance card, because the Temperance card is Sagittarius or Jupiter. Jupiter just went into Cancer. But it was, at least, I don't know for how long this is happening, but it was squaring Saturn and Neptune that are in Aries, which, not to like go back to myself, but like I said, right, like Cancer is my first house. Aries is my 10th house of like work and how I show up in the world. So even again, this whole thing, it's got to be, for our highest good. So now in this card, I was saying, right, it looks like this person could be, not saying that it is, they could be the same person from the Page of Pentacles, just stripped down. I mean, they're clothed, they're scantily, what's the, barely, scantily, maybe that's it. Scantily clothed, but clothed nonetheless. Okay. And they're holding this box here, and there's this energy that's being released. And the book talks about one energy being predator, one energy being prey. And really, the dance between that, right? Like the circle of life. Temperance talks about energies blending, alchemy. There's a patience aspect with it as well, because it takes time to find the correct formula, right? Like it does take trying things. It does take following your path and honoring your intuition. It does take, right? Like mixing things up, blending energies together in order to find the correct formulation for yourself. Also, too, it's about like following, or at least like going through the motions. Like I sometimes talk about tempering chocolate, because there are certain steps that you have to go through in order to properly temper chocolate. And if you skip the steps, if you try to rush through them, the chocolate's ruined and you literally have to start all over again. It's the right balance of, having the chocolate overheat and taking it off, putting it back, right? But that comes with experience. That comes with trying things, broadening those horizons, keeping your mind open to any type of possibility, any type of solution. The book says balance, equilibrium, wisdom, peace. Predator and prey burst forth from a box clasped in a woman's hands. Everything in this world hinges on the nuances of balance. Where something is taken, it must be given. Light is necessary to cast a shadow. Temperance appears to encourage you to maintain equilibrium as you have so far. You are praised for your thoughtfulness and peaceful nature. It takes developing a special thoughtfulness to understand the duality of the world and to accept your place within it. Access your inner knowledge to answer your queries and trust yourself. This is a card of self-reflection and careful planning. All of this kind of seems to be like reiterating itself, or like confirming itself. Like there's not a ton of action forward. We have two like beginning cards. Like again, you know, the page is out there taking steps. The 3 of Wands is also out there, at least like, you know, playing around with the energies. Like they at least have their boats in the water, right? The energy is coming out of this box for the Temperance card. And then at the end of the reading here is where we have that movement forward. The 8 of Wands. This is fast. It is taking desired action. It is, you know, putting your passion into something. There could be a random conversation that you have one day that just sets things in motion really pretty fast. It could be just all of a sudden things come together here with the Temperance card. You know, just the right set of circumstances. And because you are already on that trajectory, right? Like you could just boom, be going. High Priestess, which is another card that talks about intuition and being in tune with your star player, honoring your intuition, honoring your path, even like honoring your specific uniqueness, accepting that too. Beautiful. I'm going to leave it there because I'm a little worried my camera's going to die. Thank you so much for being here. Truly, thank you for allowing me to read your cards. Thank you for letting me vent. I'm out of here. Bye.